Hello YouTube, this is your boy Chris, and today I am making a video for you PC gamers and you computer builders out there. I wanted to give you a look at one of the upgrades that I made on my system and one of the problems that I ran into while making the upgrade. On my particular system that I have here, it's a 3-monitor setup, as I showed in one of my earlier videos. On the motherboard that I'm using, it's the Maximus VI Extreme motherboard, and this motherboard supports 4-way SLI. If we take a look at the back of the box, as you can see right here, it supports 4-way SLI Crossfire X. Again, this is the Maximus VI Extreme motherboard. For the processor, I'm using the Haswell Devil's Canyon. This would be the i7 4790K with the LGA 1150 chipset. This is a quad-core processor. And for my graphics cards, I'm using the GTX 760, which is the Asus non-reference card. So those are some of the components that I used in my computer build. So if we take a look inside of the case, I'm running 3 GTX 760's. Okay, now as I stated earlier, on the Maximus VI Extreme motherboard, it supports 4-way SLI. Okay, so one of the problems that I ran into is that on the this here is the 4-way SLI bridge. So the problem that I ran into while trying to upgrade my system is I thought that I could run 4 GTX 760's and SLI. Again, the board supports 4-way SLI, so that's not a problem on the board. You do have the extra PCI 16 slot, PCIe 16 slot down on the bottom. So I thought that I could just connect 4 GTX 760's. But to make a long story short, I did find out that the Asus GTX 760's does not support 4-way SLI. So let me repeat that. The Asus GTX 760 does not support 4-way SLI. I found this out by going to my NVIDIA control panel, and as you can see here, you see the 3-way SLI, which is enabled, and for some reason I could not get 4-way SLI to enable. So I decided to call Asus, and after talking with the technicians at Asus, I was informed that the Asus GTX 760 does not support 4-way SLI. The motherboard supports 4-way SLI, but the graphics cards does not support 4-way SLI. I had the 4-way bridge. I had 4 GTX 760's connected, but for some reason on the NVIDIA control panel, I cannot get the 4-way SLI to enable. To make a long story short, I called Asus. I talked to their techs, and they did inform me that the Asus GTX 760 does not support 4-way SLI. I was informed that if I wanted to go to 4-way SLI, I would have to move up to the GTX 980. So Right now, as you can see, I'm basically just running 3 Asus GTX 760's, and it's powered by the EVGA 1300 watt SuperNOVA. This is the OC panel that I mounted on the front of the computer case, which gives you your real-time frequencies without going into the BIOS. Just to give you a quick view, again, on the NVIDIA control panel, there's your 3-way SLI. It is enabled because it will not enable the 4-way SLI. On my 3D Mark, here's one of my results, 6779 with the NVIDIA GTX 760. 3 times it's running the Intel Core i7, the 4790K, which is the Haswell Devil's Canyon. On my results, here's my score. It says it's better than 86% of all results. For high-end gaming PCs, I guess 4710 would be the max. For gaming laptops, 1981, and so on. So my score here is 6779, which is better than 86% of all results. I'm going to come over here to this third monitor. If I could focus, my Windows experience is a 7.8. The highest you can get is a 7.9. So I have a 7.8 on the processor, 7.8 on the RAM, which I'm using 32 gigs of Kingston's RAM. We got 7.9 on the graphics, 7.9 on the gaming graphics, and 7.9 on the SSDs, the hard drives. So that gives me a 7.8 on my Windows experience. And as you can see over here, here's my GPU tweak. I don't know how well you can see that. And I have a mild overclock of 4.4 gigahertz. That's a mild overclock of 4.4 gigahertz. So I just kind of want to give you guys a quick look at the results of running 3 Asus GTX 760's. Again, running 4 Asus GTX 760's is not compatible. Again, this is my 3 monitor setup, and I just want to give you guys a quick look of what it looks like with 3 Asus GTX 760's. And just to give you a quick rundown of the parts that I use on this build, I'm using the Maximus VI Extreme motherboard. I'm running 32 gigs of Kingston's RAM overclocked. I'm running 3 GTX 760's. I'm running the EVGA 1300 watt SuperNOVA full modular power supply, and it's an i7 with the Devil's Canyon Haswell chip, the 4790K, and it has about 5 hard drives. 3 of them are SSDs, liquid cooled. As you can see, this is my liquid reservoir on the rear. Shake it up, you can kind of see the liquid inside. The liquid runs through the radiator that I have mounted on the top. I also have a second radiator, a Ocool 140mm radiator mounted on the bottom. So anyway, I just want to give you guys a quick look at my upgrade that I made to my personal gaming PC. I hope you enjoyed this video. For you gamers out there, my advice to you would be, if you are planning on doing upgrades, especially to your graphics cards, you may want to call the manufacturer to verify that you can upgrade them by running 2-way, 3-way, or either 4-way SLI. Some cards are not compatible, so you need to verify. Your motherboard may be compatible with running either a 3-way SLI or 4-way SLI, but you need to verify that your graphics cards will support 3-way SLI or 4-way SLI, which is one of the small problems that I ran into. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Drop me some comments. Let me know what you think of this ultimate gaming PC. That's all I have, and I'll talk to you guys later.